See this right here? Price tapped this line 3 times and every time it bounced. That line isn't random. It's a trend line. One of the simplest ways to find where price is likely to move next. In this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how to trade options using trend lines step by step. I'm going to show you how to find them, when to enter, when to exit, and even how to find the right options contract for your budget. Now, before we talk about trend lines, it's important to understand that they're just an extension of support and resistance. When the market starts moving, those same levels move at an angle, and that's what creates a trend line. And if you want to practice drawing trend lines before using real money, Moomoo makes that really easy. You can use their paper trading features and real-time charts to work on drawing your own trend lines. And actually, at the time of this recording, it looks like Moomoo is offering a $100 cash reward, $1,000 in NVIDIA stock, as well as an 8.1 APY on all uninvested cash. So if any of that is of interest to you, I'll have that link down below in the description. Let's talk about market direction. There are 3 main types of trends. First one is going to be uptrend, consisted of you got a starting point, you got a high, you got a higher low, you got a higher high, higher low, higher high. So uptrend is consistent of higher lows and higher highs. We got a downtrend, which is you have a starting point, you got a low, you got a lower high, a lower low, lower high, lower low. All right, so you got uptrend, downtrend, uptrends, higher highs. And then last but not least, you have sideways or ranging markets. All right, so you got a high, you got a low, high, low, high, low. And sometimes you might find some inside. Then in here, you got your sideways or ranging market. And it's going to mostly consist of equal lows and equal highs. When you draw a trend line, you're just going to be taking and connecting 2 points. All right, so you have 1 point here, another point here, another point here. The more times the price touches that line and respects it, the stronger this level becomes. For instance, if we zoom in here, I can see that I've drawn a trend line, but I personally like to zoom out and make sure the trend line goes along with the overall market structure, not just one small move. All right, so right here, we are looking at a real trend line on a real chart. This is actually a trend line that is on Rigetti RGT. If you take a look, you can see that the trends started about right here. We got another point. So from here, we were able to draw our 2 points. And if we just kind of go on, we can see the next time we touched, we ran back to the top of the range. So over here, it's clear we have a trend line. And once your trend line is confirmed, your goal is to catch the price as it pulls back to that line. So we came over here, we pulled back. This was our first chance. And right here, you can see it went from 25.40. Its high is 29.65. So decent move right there. So ideally, when we come to the trend line, one of 2 things are happening. There are 2 ways this can go. So taking a look at it, say we come here, we can play this scenario where we took off, or we can break to the downside. So there's 2 ways we can kind of go. And usually what you're going to want to try to do is follow the trend. So in this situation, the trend is going up. So ideally, we're looking to enter at the trend line and looking to ride to like the last swing high. I'm going to make this lighter. All right, so had to change the colors just to make it a little bit easier to see. But going on, ideally, we're going to have our stop around this area of the last swing point, the last kind of area where we got the low. Beyond here, we're going to have our profit target kind of at the last swing high, which is going to be over here at this high. So from here, we're going to have our profit target around here. So we can see that's a $3.60 move. That's a decent trade right there. Price came here and it took off. That trade right there is a 14% run just by itself. Now let's talk about exits. So when I enter a trade, I'm entering at the trend line, typically in the direction of the trend. And usually my first price target is going to be the next swing high or low, depending on which direction I'm trading. If price breaks that level and holds, which in this situation, it did not, If it were to hold and say what happened over here were to happen over here, I would have taken partial profit over here, continue to ride until it slowed down, which actually wasn't until it got up here. Pro tip, always protect your profit. Trendlines will help you find good entries, but managing your exits keeps your account growing. Now here we are in the Moomoo app. We're taking a look at SoFi. So I chose to look at SoFi just because SoFi is about the same price that Rigetti was at that point. So next thing I'm going to do is click options. And on the chart, we were looking at a $4 move. So what I'm going to do, since my target was about $4 away, I'm going to add $4 to the strike price and just see or how much that is. The stock is trading at $26.60. So that would actually be about $30.50. I can see those contracts are going for $1 per share. So first thing I want to do is pick how much time I want for the contract. So taking a look at it, the chart we were looking at was on the 4 hours. So I typically like to get 2 to 3 weeks whenever I'm trading on the 4 hour chart. So I'll probably go for 3. So I'm going for November 7th. All right, and going on, we can see the stock price is trading at $26.60. And what I was targeting on the chart was about a $4 move. So $4 from $26.50, that puts us at $30.50. So let's see how much that's going for. Ideally, since I'm targeting this $30.50 area, the closer to the money I can get, the better. But one thing I'm going to do is first off, say what's my budget. Say I only have $300 I can spend on this trade. If I only have $300 I can spend on this trade, I can get 2 of these $30.50 contracts and still have some money left over. I can get 2 of these $29.50 contracts and have some money left over. I can get 1 contract just inside the money. And how I'm going to decide how I want to do this is I'm actually going to scroll over and I am going to take a look at the delta. So I can see the one in the money, the delta is 55, which tells me that every dollar it goes up, it's going to gain about $55 in value. So if I just have 1 contract and it moves $4, that's going to be about $220. Whereas if I go for the $31.50 and I get 2 contracts, every dollar that the contract gets closer, it's going to be about $64. So as of right now, I would rather get 2 out of the money. But one thing to also consider is the fact that the deeper in the money this gets, the higher the delta gets. So this kind of comes down to your preference. But honestly, anywhere in the money between where your target is going to be fine. Like for instance, this 29.5 strike can still get 2 contracts. Each dollar it moves closer to the goal is going to be up just under 38 cents times 2 is going to be just under 78 cents. Personally, I think I would go for the 29.50s. And taking a look at this 29.5 strike, assuming I get that full $4 move, 76 times 4, that's going to pretty much double what my budget was originally. Since the budget I have for the trade was $300, and since overall the trade will be up $300, that would actually be a little bit over a 100% return. There's a lot of varying factors that goes into selecting an option contract, but that's how I pick my option contract. And if you want to see how to actually buy and how to actually sell an option contract, be sure to watch this video right here. One of the biggest mistakes that beginners make is drawing random lines that don't connect key price levels. Your trend line should connect at least 2 clear swing points, no forcing it. If you catch yourself constantly adjusting your trend line, it probably isn't valid. So to recap, trend lines are just diagonal versions of support and resistance, and you can use them to find your entries, exits, and price targets. If this video helped, check out my video on support and resistance next. That's where all this starts. If you found this video to be helpful or learn anything, be sure to smash the like button. If for some reason you're new here and haven't already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so that you don't miss any future content. And last, but certainly not least, thank you so much for watching. Matthew Manuel signing off, and I want to change your life.